Great support for the Irish here then at Parramatta Stadium. A well-known Irish bar has laid on free buses to get the supporters to the game. Of course, the free buses are available afterwards to get them back to the pub, and they'll be hoping to go back there and celebrate what would be a terrific achievement. They, of course, need to win by 6 points or more. That would take them through to next Monday's qualifier for the semi-finals. And all people reckoning it'll be against Fiji, but of course Scotland could have something to say about that. But Samoa have something to say first, in the shape of their haka. They form the circle first, and then they break out. And what a sight it was when they performed this against Tonga last week. It's done with feeling.
Well, many people expected Samoa to be the side that would go through to the semi-final. On paper, they have a fantastic team. However, in this World Cup, from the first performance, I didn't think that they were completely that convincing, and I think there will be some confidence amongst the Irish players. This confidence might be tested here now as they have to face up to the sight of 17 angry and pumped up players.
Said with feeling. Nigel Vangana leading the way for his side, and Ireland standing firm in the face of that. Now they've got to stand firm in the face of this Samoan challenge.
Well, action speaks much louder than words, particularly in a rugby league game here now. The French referee Thierry Alibert will take charge of this game, and I'm sure the opening stages will be a massively pumped up play here now. I would suspect Ireland will attempt to kick deep, and here it is from Richards.
Deep and high as Ireland get the game underway. Massive game for these two sides. Said there was big support for the Irish. There is as well for the Samoan side. And these opening exchanges are going to be crucial for the Irish, because this is a big physical Samoan side. And here goes Terence Siusiu. It's the French referee Thierry Alibert in charge and giving the first penalty of the game. I'm just trying to slow things down.
And that's the fine line that Ireland have to balance along here. They need to find some control around the ruck area. They can't allow the speed around the Samoan play the ball, but likewise they can't afford to concede penalties here and allow Samoa to start sets in the Irish half of the field.
Samoa making a late switch. Ali Laatiti there you saw playing the ball, who was supposed to be on the bench starting. David Solomona will be on the bench, or is on the bench. John Ackland just making a slight change. Harrison Hansen plays the ball. Now here's Vangana. Vangana back for Langi Setu. He's lost that ball. It went backwards, says the referee. Setu claiming that there was a hand in there. Should be 6 to go. The referee not giving them anything in that respect. Roberts. Here's Laatiti, and Laatiti doing what he does best. The ball around the corner for Wiggins Carmont. Fantastic debut season George Carmont has just had for the Cherry and Whites. And here goes the fullback, Smith Samo. And this is a test for the Irish defence, the very first challenge for them. They're on their own try line. Here's Roberts. Roberts stabs the kick through. Is the chase good? Well, it's very calmly dealt with, or is it? The ball was bouncing now then. Thierry Alibert was right on the spot. Wants the video ref to have a look to see whether Nigel Vangana managed to capitalise on that. I thought Pat Richards had got that ball, but he was shoulder charged. The ball came loose, and Vangana on the follow-up might just have touched this down. First duties of the night for Steve Ganson.
Well, Ireland conceded a very soft try against Tonga. Similar circumstances. Ball in the in-goal zone, unable to deal with it as it bounced around. Here Ireland do have their hands on the ball through Pat Richards, but he loses it amongst the tackle from Tallow, and then Vangana tries to ground it, but I think knocks on just short of the dead ball line. I don't think this will be awarded, but it's a let-off for Ireland, and a lesson that they don't appear to have learned from the first match they've taken part in.
Yeah, I'm sure, Phil, that he's going to award a 20-metre tap here to the Ireland team. They've got out of jail here. Pat Richards hit very hard in a tackle by Willie Tallow. You'll see that Nigel Vangana doesn't control the ball at all. In fact, his feet, he manages to stay in the field of play very well, but that certainly isn't grounded there. Although on that angle, you've got some doubts, but on the angle that we saw before, I think there's enough information there to suggest that he hasn't grounded it. I'd like to see another angle there. This one here might indicate that that he has actually grounded the ball. He's got control there, but he seems to just lose it a little bit there, but not on that angle, on the angle we saw first. And I think we'd like to go back to that. If the video ref doesn't go back to that, then I'm sure he's going to award a try.
Well, I think his legs blocked the view, but the very first view we saw did indicate daylight between his hands and the ball before it touched the ground.
Well, it'd be a fantastic bit of opportunism if Vangana has got this try.
I don't think it's a try, Bill. I think even on that angle there was enough evidence to suggest his hands weren't touching it.
Well, none of the players seem to think that a try is going to be awarded. They're all lined up for a tap on the 20. Just waiting to see what the video ref decision is. 33-year-old Nigel Vangana got a long-range try against Tonga. This one is a matter of inches.
Well, Bill, players have got very good, haven't they? We're just going to see the decision now come up. I suspect it's going to be a no try. At least I hope it is. They've got very good, haven't they, with their body language, players. And Nigel Vangana, I've got to say, came out of that situation. And I know he's scored plenty of tries, both playing for whatever clubs he's been at and also internationally. But he didn't seem overly excited to me about that situation. Right decision.
And a let-off for the Irish. And as Phil said, they can't afford to make the sort of dozy would be the word, errors that they made against Tonga and were punished for.
Ireland need some luck if they're to progress through from this game to the next stage of the World Cup. But they can't afford to make the chances so easy for their opponents. Failing to deal with the ball in goal was one. Here they've now kicked it out on the full at the end of a set.
They've just shown their hand, though, haven't they? They've just shown their hand. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn the Samoan team around. We're going to take a couple of tackles, get into a 40-20 situation. We're going to make them chase. We're going to try to put them in their own in goal. If we don't get a 40-20, we're going to make them come off their line. We're going to turn this big forward pack around and say to you, you go all the way back there and then return the football without making mistakes, because one thing Samoa have got in them is plenty of errors. There's no doubt. When they played the Tongan team, they came up with something like 21 errors in that game. Far too many.
Well, that's the highest error rate by any side in the competition so far, the Samoan errors against Tonga. But it was an Irish error there that's put them in this position. Scott Griggs out on the full with his kick. And so once again, having escaped just a few moments ago, Ireland find this Samoan machine advancing towards them. 3 tackles gone as Langi Setu plays the ball. Wayne McDade, who's in the side this evening for the suspended Kylie Luluai. 1 match ban for a dangerous tackle. Here goes the hooker, Siu. And not square, I think, the Irish.
Okay, not square. Go.
So the penalty counts 2 in favour of Samoa. And I think they're going to take the tap. Just for a moment I thought they were going to go for 2 there, but no, they're going to continue to pile the pressure on with McDade, the Auckland Vulcans player who's come into the side. He plays the ball. Siu now. Pops it up for Harrison Hansen. Had a great game against the Tongans, the Wigan player. He plays the ball. Siu will dive for the line himself, trying to burrow his way over. Ireland saw that one coming and hold him firm. Only just, though. Here's Ben Roberts. Roberts will take them on himself. And he is just short. He's lost that ball. And that is great defence by the Irish.
Well, it's the 3rd penalty though, Bill, I think, for stealing the ball in the tackle. And this has been a self-inflicted, painful start for Ireland. failure to deal with the ball in goal, kicking out on the full, conceding penalties near to their own try line. This is about as tough as it could be in the beginning of this match. And you've seen early on from the number 9, Siu, if he gets close to the line, he's going to test the Irish goal line defence repeatedly in this match.
And this is going to be draining for the Irish. It's still a warm evening here as Samoa again drive towards the line. It's with Tony Pugliatua, and it's going to be another video ref decision, but I think this time there will be no escape for the Irish. And Tony Pugliatua, this big front rower destined for St Helens next season, has got that ball down, but it needs Steve Ganson to make the decision once again.
I think he's probably going to look for two things here. I think he's obviously going to look for the ground, and the other one is there an obstruction there at all? Has anybody been blocked coming through? That looks okay to me. I think the ball's on the line, if not just over. He's got control. I was just a bit concerned about Harrison Hansen going through, whether Michael Platt had an opportunity there to actually get a little bit more body contact on Tony Pugliatua.
But big men can crash over the try line when they get close to it, and Samoa spent most of this first 5 minutes on or at the Irish try line. You look at the leg drive, 2 or 3 men, but he cleverly spins through the first tackle. It's not just a one-on-one push. He breaks away from it, twists and turns, and that's what helps him to get towards the line.
And Thierry Alibert, this referee from Albi in Rugby League land in France, deciding that again needs a second pair of eyes to take a look at.
Well, I think the question mark is on the obstruction. I don't believe that is at all. I think that's just a misread by the Irish defender. But I've just got a little query on that one, although, you know, the Samoan player, Harrison Hansen, probably couldn't put himself in any other position. Certainly not intentional. I expect a try to be awarded here.
Tony Pugliatua doesn't get that many tries. But this one could have got Samoa off to the start they wanted in the start. They've been threatening. Still waiting for the video ref decision. Well, Harrison Hansen might be thinking, ooh, I hope I haven't messed that up. What's the video ref's decision? Steve Ganson decides that Harrison Hansen has done. And that is a massive let-off for Ireland. And
the second let-off in 5 minutes. I mean, we've had 2 significant stops in play, and all the game's been going for 5 minutes. The match itself's been going for quite a lot longer. And talk about the look of the Irish. They've got away with this twice, but they'll need to improve their own play.
Well, you say they got away. They didn't get away with it first time. That was a fair decision. But there's
they
some
got away
raised
with their own sloppy play in goal.
There was some raised eyebrows with that decision, that's for sure, Phil. And Ireland yet to get out of their own half. They had a chance a while ago when Scott Griggs could have taken them down into Samoa territory, but put his kick out in the full. What can they do with this set of 6? Breathing an almighty sigh of relief. Andy Kelly's boys. Richards among them. There he is in possession. They were so annoyed with themselves after that game against Tonga. There was a lot of talk about heroic Irish performances, but they had the opportunities to win that game. They didn't, which is why they're in this situation now.
Well, the underdog in any game of rugby league needs at least 50% of possession. At the moment, it's 80-20 in Samoa's favour, and that's the reason why Ireland look a little slower, though, here now. They've got up and over the halfway line. Most players had a touch of the ball, and I think you're supposed to feel you're into the match at this point in time.
Michael Platt was running a risk there as he just shoveled that ball out of the back door as he was tackled. Fortunately, Bob Bezic was able to take a hold of it. Now then, Griggs. This is a better kick. This is a good kick into no man's land, but across comes Matt Utai to take that ball. Gets away from the first tackler. Liam Finn it was on the chase, but then there's 4 more Irishmen there to drive him back. That's good from the Irish. He's still going backwards.
That's the type of inspirational play that Ireland needed here now. Can they contain any goal forward here from Samoa? Up quick, watching for dummy half runs. Look, 3 men in the tackle. They're controlling the speed of the play of the ball. And the matching, just look how compressed Samoa are. All of the players gathered in the centre of the field. You know there's going to be individual charges from this point.
Pugliatua plays the ball, still probably seething over that disallowed try. Nigel Vangana, similarly, disallowed try. Still waiting for the first points here at the Parramatta Stadium then between Samoa and Ireland. Ireland needing to win by 6 points or more to book their place in the semi-final qualifier next week as Michael Platt runs the ball back.
And he ran it back so positively, didn't he? Taking the line on at pace, changing direction just before it, and hopefully setting the tone now for his teammates to follow it.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing we've got to look at tonight with the Samoan team is it's their work rate when they haven't got the football. That always worries me with this sort of team. They're a big team, they're a powerful team. When they've got the football, they get very excited. But when they've got to defend for lengthy periods of time, they make poor decisions. Even that kick chase is one of their first kick chases they've had tonight, and yet it wasn't particularly good from a team perspective. I think Ireland can really put them under pressure if they can get a couple of sets in a row.
Here's Sean Gleeson, had an outstanding game against Tonga. Plays that ball, takes a little bobble right in front of Bezic, and then Grix again hoists the kick, and Utai is again underneath it. The sun in his eyes, but his eyes were on that ball, and he took it well.
Well, there are pros and cons to kicking to Matt Utai. We've seen him come up with some fumbles in the World Cup already, but if he gathers the ball, you need to have some determination in your defence because he's one of the strongest runners on the field tonight.
Here's Smith Samuel, Gold Coast Titans player. Plays that ball. Vangana, Langi Setu. And Samoa over the 40-metre line in the Irish half now. Puliatua. And he showed against Tonga the sort of excitement that St Helens can look forward to. He's earned another penalty. That ball was stolen.
Well, 4-1 in the penalty count in favour of Samoa. Tells you all the problems that Ireland are having here. Look, trying to pull him to the ground, but pulling the ball out as well. And 2 men in a tackle aren't allowed to do that. Nandi Kelly, Terry O'Connor, part of the Irish coaching staff. Here's another big challenge. Defending the line for 6 more players with Ali Lauatiti bringing it forward.
Ali Lauatiti fresh from a grand final triumph with the Leeds Rhinos, of course. His 4th grand final in the last 5 years, that was, and the ball is popped up. Oh, and Terence Siusiu was very nearly through there, just stopped short of the line. It was Finnegan with the tackle, and that's good work from Lee Doran.
Another penalty.
They weren't standing square. Doran was too quick off the mark.
Not square. Not square.
I thought for one moment there would be a warning issue to the Irish side for the number of penalties they conceded. Maybe got to avoid having anybody sent to the sin bin.
Well, things have gone full circle. They were the beneficiaries of a high penalty count last week, and now they're on the receiving end from Thierry Alibert tonight. And again, CC tries to go for the gap. And they can't complain about communication problems. Monsieur Alibert's French is perfect. That pass was, but the pass couldn't be taken, and Ireland get away with it. Platt picks it up.
Well, good work by Gareth Haggerty. He was the man involved in standing toe-to-toe with Wayne McDade. Seen off again. That's 3 real challenges in the first 10 minutes that Samoa have had to score. And now maybe things turn around. A penalty to Ireland. Confidence starting to build. And you build confidence in a game of rugby league if you can stand on your own line and prevent your opponents from scoring. Send them away without conceding points. Ireland have done that now. And Ireland have the restart right in front of the Irish supporters. Fans still coming in here. It's a pig of a ground to get to, the Parramatta Stadium, especially at rush hour. The Irish fans were warned well in advance to give themselves plenty of time. But they're still drifting in, or maybe they've been elsewhere. As Eamon O'Carroll, this Wigan prop, spent most of the season on the bench for the Warriors, takes the ball up, and now they go wide with Platt. Platt, a little dummy from Platt, the Bradford Bulls full back. Samoa bought it, eventually they make the tackle. Damien Blanche, the hero of that Tongan game. Oh, a big hit on Blanche from Terence Siusiu. And he felt that. Well, that's what you get when you make a name for yourself like Damien Blanche did. They know they've got to look out for him, and they've taken care of him with a great crossfield kick. Now then, have they got the ball down? Has Richards done what he does best and got above everybody else to get that ball down? There's no video ref decision needed. Pat Richards has got the try. Well, what a start this is from the Irish. They're hammered on their own try line. They think they've conceded a try, and then they come up the other end. But look at this. Blanche felt that. I'm not sure if he knows what happened next. And I'm not sure I've ever seen a more one-sided start to a game, where Ireland, the team who've been pummeled really, have gone to score first points. You know, it's Pat Richards' favourite play, and it makes sense for Liam Finn to put this ball as often as possible. A one-on-one challenge, Utai and Richards, look at the height differential. Richard takes the ball cleanly in the air, and that's a wonderful score with one-handed put down. Barry McDermott likes it too. What a pump this has given now for the Irish side. First points on the board, underdogs in the game against a heavily fancied Samoan outfit.
The locals will be cheering Pat Richards as well. He began his career here. Now, of course, a Super League regular, has been the top point scorer in Super League for the last 2 years. Boos from the Samoan supporters directed at Monsieur Alibert, who's standing in front of a contingent of them.
Yes, you're right, Bill. Pat Richards played here for many years, so he knows the ground very well. He's looking straight into the sun here for this particular kick, but I don't think there's a lot of breeze out there, and he's a very accurate goal kicker. There's no question as well that they're kicking to Matt Utai because there's just a complete mismatch there. Doing someone who's probably 5'8" as against someone who's probably 6'3", 6'4".
So Richards, swing of the boots. He's pushed it wide of the target, but Ireland, well, maybe unbelievably, but not as far as Irish eyes are concerned. They are ahead by 4 points to 0, and this is why Liam Finn probably is starting for his kicking game. Fitzpatrick on the bench. Finn's kick.
You know, something interesting there, Bill. If he'd have gone to the video ref, I wonder if Steve Ganson would have said no try because the ball wasn't played correctly. Because Damien Blanche really struggled to get to his feet, and I'm sure that wasn't a correct play of the ball. But I think Terry Alibert has allowed it to play on because he knew that he wasn't quite well, but whether that's according to the rules or not, I'm not sure.
This guy's had a big start to the game. Gareth Haggerty, the top tackler for Ireland, he's carried the ball. I think he's going to get an arrest, but he's made an impressive start and seen off, really, the Samoan challenge.
Haggerty in the starting lineup, and a great break. A fantastic break from Bezic, and Bezic has got Finnegan in support, and another try for the Irish. Finnegan with the try. What a turnaround in this game. 1 minute, they're getting pummeled. And the next, they're celebrating. And the Irish flags are flying.
Well, Ireland here have shown some brains around the dummy half area. Samoa pushing up for the big hit, the big tackle. But Bezic breaks the line. It's lovely how he carries the ball in two hands to go at the defence, breaks through it, and then Finnegan, one of the fittest players in the Irish squad, in position to support, having worked so hard defensively. The transition now to attack has been able to capitalise and score the second Irish try in this World Cup game. What a lift here now for the Irish. They think this is game on.
Finnegan, who's leaving the Bradford Bulls to join the Huddersfield Giants next season. Look at the celebrations on the sideline from the Irish side. And Simon Finnegan, well, that is a stunning turnaround to this game. And you'd fancy seeing Richards kicking this one now.
Well, it's a turnaround, Bill, because what I said before, when Samoa don't have football, when they don't have possessions, they're not that interested. They don't get interested in the game until they've got the football, and they want to play this flamboyant style, either play this power game where they run over the top of you, or they'll play an offload game. They'll probably get a bit excited when they get the football back now because they're going to try and play catch-up. What concerns me about the Samoan team is their inability to defend set after set as Pat Richards hits the upright there, and that's a bit of a let-off really, because that would be considered to be a give-me really for a goalkeeper of Pat Richards' ability. I just want to go back to that again about this Samoan team. We all talk about power and size, but it's only relevant if you know how to use it properly. And I don't really think defensively that Samoa have used it properly so far. They look very loose around the ruck to me. They look indecisive, and there's players coming forward and some sliding off, and that's what created that hole down the middle. And Simon Finnegan, well, it was simple for him. He just had to support.
Well, there's the miss from Pat Richards, and points are so crucial to the Irish. Of course, they need this 6-point buffer or win by 6 points or more to go through. Let's go down to the sidelines, get some touchline news from Angela Powers.
That huge hit off CSU on Blanche left him a little bit dazed and confused, but according to Miles Haslam of their conditioning team, he was soon up and running and quite happy to carry on. They've got no concerns about him at all.
Finn with the kick, but it's covered by the fullback Smith Samoa, and he'll run that back. So Ireland, 2 tries disallowed for Samoa, 2 tries scored by the Irish with their first 2 chances, really.
And a test of the concentration now. They can't afford to fall offside. They can't drop off the first tackle. They need to maintain that control. It's concentration really here that's been tested in the next 40 seconds. 4 tackles still remaining in this set.
Frank Pugliatua is on the field now for Samoa, and he's stopped just on the halfway line by Lee Duran. And here goes Terence Siu. Cronulla Sharks player. That's the 5th tackle. And Ben Roberts stabs the kick in. Across comes Michael Platt. Had a bit of a shaky game against the Tongans, looking to redeem himself here tonight. And here is Damien Blanche. Seems to be okay. He's a tough character.
He's decapitated in that play. That won't make him feel much better. Terence Siu just slung the right arm up around his head. And it's made Ireland's job of getting out to their own half far easier. Look, he almost stops here, Damien Blanche, into tackle. I do think he's lost a little bit of element of confidence. I used to see him carry the ball far more determinedly. The tackle just slips up off his shoulder, around the head, and Ireland all of a sudden are 30 metres downfield.
Well, here is Ryan Tandy. Ireland in possession just outside the Samoan 30 now. Finn takes the tackle. The game being played with the sun setting across this stadium. Grix fires that ball up, tries a forward from the Samoan supporters. Another kick. This time it's Francis Melly is under pressure. He's lost it, and I think they've got a hand to that. Sean Gleeson might be claiming this try, although there might have been a knock on, but Melly certainly lost that ball. And Platt was following up, so was Gleeson. The question is, did Platt knock it on before Gleeson touched it down? Busy night for the video ref.
We've seen the accuracy of Finn's kick on the left-hand side. Here now on the right, Ireland go to the right wing with Damien Blanche. And I think on initial viewing, this is a try. I thought it went through the Samoan player's arms. Francis Melly loses the ball, and eventually Gleeson grounds it with his right hand. There's no doubt about the grounding. It's whether there is any knock-on at all from Damien Blanche in that play.
It hits Blanche's boot, doesn't it?
Does it go through Blanche's arms initially? I think the video ref's seen enough. It's a quick decision, this one.
Well, Sean Gleeson created a lot of good stuff for Ireland against Tonga. Damien Blanche was the beneficiary of that. This time, Gleeson could be the lucky recipient. Another try for the Irish? Surely not. Gleeson looks towards the screen. They lead by 8-0. Steve Ganson, the video ref, has had a brief look at that one. And it's another try for the Irish. Remember, they need to beat Samoa by 6 points or more. They lead now by 12-0.
Well, that's a terrific try. You see the kick comes up here. Damien Blanche comes through, puts a bit of pressure on Francis Melly. That really should be taken. A good winger should be taking that. I guess Francis Melly, 9 times out of 10, would probably catch that ball, but it's the pressure that you're under. You're behind 8-0. You're trying to diffuse this kick. There's a little bit of pressure there from Blanche, and Sean Gleeson is just in the right place at the right time. And 3 tries in a very short space of time has certainly opened this game up now. And I think that Samoa, they still concern me defensively. They just don't seem to have any real set pattern in what they're doing. There's not a lot of cohesion there. Clearly not a lot of coordination as Pat Richards comes in, hits this. This is a better kick. It's just stayed inside, yeah.
Just over from Pat Richards. He's only kicked, or had only kicked 2 from 6 prior to that conversion attempt. It was a hairy start for the Irish, but things are certainly looking up now. They lead by 14-0 against much fancied Samoa.
Well, winning teams in rugby league are able to push through periods of adversity. Ireland survived that first 5 or 6 minutes of the match under pressure, near or on their own line, and now they've been able to take advantage of some good possession. It's sort of evened up, 50-50 split of the ball, and they've been the ones who've been able to put points on the board in the opening quarter.
20 minutes gone, and what an eventful first quarter of the game it has been. here at the Parramatta Stadium. Here is Ryan Tandy, back in Australia now, but did the rounds in the UK. Widnes and Whitehaven. A good burst, takes Ireland up the middle. Blanche seems to have recovered from that knock. The kick charge down, it falls into the hands of Gleeson. Play on, says the referee. Gleeson does, but that's a loose pass infield, and it's gobbled up by Tony Pugliatua. And just got a bit carried away there.
I think you've been looking at the referee first to see the tackle count had been wiped down. Didn't get much of an indication.
I don't really know whether the Samoan player played at the ball, Phil. I think it was just kicked into him, so I don't know whether I'm not sure that he did. But either way, Ireland got a bit excited, didn't they?
Well, Samoa getting excited now. Frank Pugliatua takes the tackle just inside the Irish 30. Here is Ben Roberts. Roberts hands the ball off really to Ali Lauatiti, and now it's with Vangana, and Vangana almost through there, and Samoa threatening. It was Eamon O'Carroll's tackle that stopped the Samoan captain. Frank Pugliatua now, the big brother of the two. Thierry Alibert ordering Ireland back onto their own try line. The kick comes through, and it's dealt with by Richards, and then Richards gets the ball away to Platt.
Well, I think that was brilliant defensive play from Ireland. Their outside backs got up off the trial and up to the 10-metre line and managed to hold the Samoan side. And then it was clever interplay with winger and fullback getting the side out of that dangerous in-goal zone, staying in the field of play. The kick's a good one. It ricochets off Finn's leg. Richard takes it. Clean offload past to Platt. The sort of player who likes to strike there from deep. We saw Billy Slater to do that for Australia with the length of the field from a kick. We need to be able to seize those chances. And Tandy now charges forward for Ireland. The growing belief amongst the Irish side and supporters here tonight.
Saw John Ackland there, the Samoan coach, looking pretty calm. Oh, that's a wasteful offload from the Irish. It was Ben Harrison, I think, who was the culprit. Didn't need to do that.
No, these are the sorts of things, Bill, that, you know, when you're leading 14-0, you get a little bit overconfident. And instead of just hanging on to the football here and playing out your set and putting some pressure and building more pressure, you just take the odds a little bit. And this actually plays into Samoa's hands because they want the football in their hands. They don't want to defend. No team wants to defend. You just have an understanding that for probably 50% of the time you're going to have to. But I go back to what I said earlier. Samoa are not a team that they like to hit hard, but they don't have a lot of structure in their defence. And this just plays in their hands by giving a little bit more football in reasonable field position that gives them an opportunity now to build some pressure.
Smith Samoa plays that ball, and here is Lauatiti now. Legs driving up to the halfway line. Gleeson and Durham with the tackle. Harrison Hansen cannons off the first tackler, makes another few yards for Samoa. He'll play that ball. Here goes Missy Tauapapa, who's off the bench. Tony Pugliatua still out there, has been from the start. That's the fifth tackle. And will Ben Roberts hoist a kick for Michael Platt to field. It's right underneath. Oh, he's dropped that one. And they are going to get the try in the end, I think, from Vangana. But a terrible mess there from the Irish.
The big question is whether the players are onside. The ball was passed back a long way to Ben Roberts. So far that most of the Samoan players, several of them were a metre or at least in front of him. And whether the ones who were offside, you see, look, the number of players in front of him, 3 or 4.
I don't have a problem with the ones going through. I think that's going to be okay. I was a bit concerned that one of the markers might have, one of the guys playing the ball might have gone through, Phil. I don't have a problem with that at all, nor with that. I agree with you. It's only if they agree that, if Steve Ganson agrees that the players are onside first, clearly drop the ball. That collision there can't be avoided. That's certainly not going to go against the Samoan team, and there's no problem with the grounding of the ball. He is having another look, isn't he? So it looks pretty good to me. I don't think there's a problem there.
No, I agree with you. All of the players who are within 10 metres of Platt as the ball comes down were behind the kicker Ben Roberts. Yep. That means it's a legitimate try for Nigel Vangana. Pat Richards unable to deal with it in goals, it bounces through. He needs to clear the line or ground the ball at least. He does neither. And I think we're just getting confirmation again here. There's no knock-on from Samoa. And Vangana clearly has control and grounding on the ball. Downward pressure on the ball in the in-goal area. First Samoan try.
He's had one disallowed already, Nigel Vangana, but I don't think this one's going to escape him. And as they did against Tonga, Ireland coming up with one or two errors that proved costly, and this one I think is going to be costly.
Well, you go back to the past, don't you? On around about the 30-metre line. I'm sure the try is going to come up here. The video ref decision.
They weren't going to disallow that one.
As I was saying, Bill, you go back to that, and you know you can always pinpoint errors in games and say, well, that was a turning point. But really, everything you do can be a turning point in rugby league. So again, you see Ben Roberts. He's got plenty of time. The pressure on the kicker was very poor. He had plenty of time to place the kick. It's one of those spiral-type bombs. They're very difficult to catch. Everyone will criticise the fullback there and say, you've got to swallow those, you've got to take them. You stand out there and try and do it. It's not that easy. And, of course, Samoa came through in droves, and Nigel Vangana, who's ever present, and the conversion being taken there, and all of a sudden it's 14-6, and we're talking about how well Ireland were playing and how much on top they were. But one error can cost you.
Ben Roberts with the successful conversion to get Samoa on the board. And on the field, number 16 there, Wayne Kerr. And that's a big plus for the Irish domestic game, because he's a product of the Carlos side. Although proudly a London Scholars player now, so they'll be happy at the New River Stadium as a Scholars player gets involved with the World Cup. It's a Wigan player. Looking mean and moody, Harrison Hansen.
He's not happy with the kicking tee, is he? That's the one that he does the best kickoffs with. This will put Samoa under pressure here, because he is one of the best restart players in the game, certainly in Super League.
The poor lad that took the kicking tee on looks absolutely devastated. He doesn't know what he's done wrong. Well, Samoa then will be G'd up by that. And Ireland have got to just try and quell this enthusiasm from the Samoan side. Now David Solomona is on the field. He was originally due to start, but was demoted to the bench, or John Ackland decided to have him starting from the bench. Well, he's on the field now, the Bradford Bulls player. It was a sloppy play, the ball, and it's a very sloppy play, the ball, that's been ruled a knock-on by the referee. Samoa can't believe that decision.
Well, the referee looked at the touch judge actually for some sort of assistance. He was unsighted, I think, really, to the grounding of this and the ball going through, but I'm not sure whether Lee Doran did kick the ball slightly to the left. That's what Samoa are pleading for, and I think they're probably right.
You get away with them sometimes, don't you? They've got away with one there, and that's a little bit. Oh, here's a shove. You don't see that too often, a shove off from the scrum, and maybe that's a little bit of justice.
They've got the ball back of Samoa. It's with Langi Setu, who pounced on that ball. Ireland thought it was theirs, but it's with Samoa, and already they're threatening again.
When you see teams push like that, you wonder why it doesn't happen more often. It's an obvious play. You can test the possession of the ball, and that's what Samoa have done here. Vangana hits Hansen just almost in front of the goalpost.
Hansen plays the ball about 12 metres out, and the Samoan supporters massed on the far side of the ground from us really are making a racket now. Ben Roberts will play the ball. Here is Vangana. Vangana, cross-field kick. Damien Blanche under pressure from Melly. He sensibly waited for that ball to come down. It's still alive. It's been knocked on there. That was really clever play from Damien Blanche. He didn't commit himself. He waited for Melly to go for it, and in the end, Ireland will get possession.
Well, that point proves about the accuracy of kicks. Because this is 10 metres from the line, Blanche is able to make that decision. When it's on or about your try line, Blanche has to get up off the floor and contest the ball. The two Irish kicks for tries were perfect. Samoa couldn't deal with them, but Ireland there with some good goal line defence have held Samoa again, and that again builds the confidence. Wayne Kerr drives the ball forward.
There's Ryan Tandy, also off the bench. He loves to drive that ball in, does Kerr. Made his name at the Scholars this season, finished joint top try scorer for the Scholars with 10. And Grix thumps the kick downfield. It's a good one, but Smith Samoa across to field that one comfortably. Grix leading the chase. Samoa evades him, then evades Finnegan. He's eventually collared. Tandy and again Grix it was with the tackle. Here is Melly. Gleeson with the tackle. Ireland ahead by 14 points to 6 here. Having withstood a battering early on, 2 Samoan tries disallowed. And then scoring some great tries themselves. Kerr tried to put a big hit in there. I think he came off second best on that occasion. Here's Missy Taulapapa. That's the 5th tackle.
Yeah, and Missy Taulapapa, Bill, playing in a very uncustomary position because he plays for the Cronulla club and he's really a winger or fullback. And he's now gone on to replace Terence Sisu, as we see another one of those huge bombs put up by Ben Roberts. But on this occasion, Pat Richards diffused that very comfortably.
He showed how to do it there, Pat Richards. Took that one very well.
It had been a very conservative set of possession from Samoa. Single-man drives, almost waiting for that high kick on the last play.
Do you know what, Phil? I think they've been conservative all game. I don't really think you could count too many times where the ball's gone through, say, 2 sets of hands. A lot of dummy half running, a lot of one off the ruck stuff, and clearly that's a game plan that they've set themselves. There's another error to Ireland. That's again just plays into Samoa's hands.
It was Makalorum, I think, who's just come on the field for the Irish. I'm not sure if that wasn't his first pass, but it was forward to Ryan Tandy. And Tandy looks towards the referee and his heart probably sinks because that's given Samoa possession in good territory. Ireland just trying to take a breather.
Maybe we'd see Willie Tallow or George Carmont or Francis Melly or Matt Utai actually get the ball with a little bit of space. They haven't got it yet. Every time they've touched the football, it's really been coming out of dummy half.
Well, here is Willie Tallow, heading for Salford next season, of course, to play under Sean McRae. Plays that ball. On the charge, Frank Puliatua. He plays the ball and Vangana scoops it up and goes himself. And still going Vangana. Weaving his way across and then through the defence and manages to get out of that Chamozzle and play the ball quickly, but they were offside. Or not square.
Now you've got a warn, I think, haven't you? No, he's not going to. The
penalty to Samoa then.
See, to me, that's a try-scoring opportunity. Ali Lautiti could have, with his power and ability, he could have scored there. And maybe that's an opportunity for the referee to, if not put you in the bin, at least give a warning.
Lautiti with another chance there. Plays the ball. Frank Puliatua. He's driven back. The Irish again defending their line with vigour. But can they hold out on this occasion? Puliatua plays the ball. Roberts fires the pass out to Carmont. Carmont trying to go on the outside. Lovely pass finds Melly. Melly has lost the ball and Gleeson will have it back and the Irish escape again. Great defence from this Ireland side.
Well, you need spirit and commitment when you're defending your own try line, but you also need some good organisation. And I think Ireland have shown that. They've lost the ball here, but the referee has immediately indicated a penalty. Again, the marker's not being square. It's the most common penalty we've seen in the World Cup. 2 men stood in front of the player of the ball need to be stood in a straight line in front of the man playing the ball. One behind the other, but you can see Carmont's offside, and Francis Miller, the number 5, set off too early before the ball had been played. A relieving penalty too when you consider with Solomona coming in that Ireland lost the ball in the impact of the tackle.
And Simon Finnegan was hurt in the impact of that tackle. There's no love lost between club colleagues there, or ex-club colleagues, as Solomona put the hit in and Finnegan's still in trouble. Miles Haslam, the Ireland physio, just having a look at him, and in fact I think, well, at the moment he's staying on the field, but he's very groggy as play continues with Ireland now trying to test the Samoan defence. Here is McAlorum. The pass this time finds the target, which is Lee Doran. McAlorum again. Grix. Fitzpatrick is on and trying to take him on himself. Siu came. It was in fact Langi Setu came in to make the big hit. go down the short side. Little stab kick through. Richards is chasing it, but well dealt with by the fullback, Smith-Samoa. Very coolly done. Here is Matt Utai now, and Utai, those vivid golden boots.
Well, the game seems to have gone up a gear here now in the last couple of minutes, and I think it will until we get to the halfway point. Both sides sense an element of fatigue amongst their opponents. They're trying to push harder, force an error, and come up with the next score.
Oh, Willie Talau was very nearly cleaned out by Wayne Kerr there. And Kerr went swinging, and Talau had gone. He hit fresh air. And Ireland are penalised.
I'll tell you, Bill, these are the penalties that really hurt. You know, you've worked hard for 4 tackles. The team's on their own 40-metre line. They might be thinking about a 40-20, but no, penalty, 4th tackle. Now you've probably got to defend again for another set of 6. This is what creates the fatigue factor in our game. Makes it hard to hang on.
So Samoa now. This game really going from end to end. Samoa in possession with Willie Talau. His St Helens career coming to an end. It's been a pretty glittering career. Salford hoping he can continue in that vein next season. Here's Roberts. And he's just managed to step out of the tackle there. Oh, and Vangana is stopped just short. It was a big tackle, and they've got that ball down, I think. It's Missy Talapapa. And it's another video ref decision, because he got over the line, but did he have the ball with him when he got over?
Well, Missy Talapapa may be more accustomed to playing on the wing, but one of his greatest strengths is his ability to run from dummy half, pick it up and go hard, go quickly. Okay, he didn't have to go that far on this play. I think he's gone far enough to score 4 more points for Samoa. Look, too many Irish players walking back. 16 Wayne Kerr, 11 there as well. Ben Harrison unable to get back in position and prevent Talapapa from scoring the second Samoan try. Do you know what? There's been several stoppages in this first half. It's been a very long period of play because of the video referee decision we've gone to.
But just have a look where Terry Alibert is. Now, what's he asking for? What's he asking for? Is it an obstruction he's asking for? Has the player taken the... There's no one there anyway from Ireland. He's clearly seen the ball's ground. That's what I don't understand. He's in a great position. I don't really know what he's asking for, and I think this is it's taken up time in our game that I think things like that are just that clear. I don't mind if a referee has some doubt, but what possible doubt could you have over that?
Surely first try of the World Cup for Missy Talapapa, the Cronulla Sharks player it is, and the gap closes. 14-10, and it could get even closer, and of course the magic figure for the Irish is +6, and that advantage that they had, a 14-0 advantage, has come down. Roberts then will surely land this. He does. And it's 14-12 the scoreline now, so the Irish lead has evaporated, 14-0 to 14-12.
Well, I sensed points before half-time. Inevitably, they will go to the side in possession. Penalty, penalty, try. That has been the sequence of events here for Samoa. They've got to the try line, the fatigue has started to set in as we approach half-time. And Talapapa has scored the simplest, and yet you still get 4 points for it, even if you pick it up and dive over from that range. All worth the same.
The restart from Ireland, who've got it all to do again now. They might be still ahead on the scoreboard just, but as far as this semi-final qualifying game goes at the moment, it's Samoa who are heading for that. And Ireland, well, they'll be kicking themselves again, and they've conceded the penalty. And they can't afford to do that against this Samoan side.
Well, the number of consecutive play of the balls they're having to defend just continues to grow. And one sense is here that Samoa could actually go in front in the lead at half-time. If they continue with the ball here, and Ireland continue to give away penalties.
I might have been a bit critical of the ref about the going to the video decision, but I'll tell you what, that was a good decision then on that penalty. Here's a terrific offload from David Solomona.
But that's what they do. That's what they do. Solomona, and then a rush of blood to the head, and the ball ends up in touch, and Ireland get head and feed.
Ireland needed something like that. They were looking a little worn in the middle. Bouncing along through tackles. Solomona loves to keep the ball alive. George Carman looking for Matt Utah, who's actually swapped wings with Francis Melly. Changed over from left to right.
And Carmont knew as soon as he'd let that ball go that he'd made a mistake. And Fitzpatrick is cleaned out there. That was a high shot. And it was Harrison Hansen, I think, who was the culprit.
Well, Ireland now have a chance here. Fitzpatrick runs hard at the line. He took them on earlier. Just drifts up, doesn't it? Around the shoulder, into the head and neck. Now, what sort of creation do Ireland have? Other than the kick play, can they manage to break through Samoa's defence?
And they've lost the ball. They have lost. Oh, they get another penalty. The ball was stolen. Ben Harrison had it taken from his grasp. Vangana just querying that decision.
Well, it looked as though he just lost the ball with the aggression that Samoa demonstrated in defence.
Yeah, what was okay, no, it's too much penalty. No more. If he's still normal.
Warning Samoa now for conceding too many penalties.
There's the warning. He's just given it to the wrong team. Well, not the wrong team, but not the way you'd expected.
Penalty counts
now, this doesn't surprise me at all, the fact that Ireland are going to have a kick at goal. It doesn't surprise me. The fact they're only leading by 2, it just puts them a little bit closer. They're very conscious of the scoreline and the differential that they require. Samoa, of course, are playing sort of a little different. I don't think they're quite worried about that just yet. So for Ireland to go there, try and run the clock down. You know, I'm thinking with a couple of minutes left on the board, on the clock there, that maybe you would have put the kick into touch and tried to get a little bit further ahead with put some pressure on, try to score a try. So I can understand why they've done it.
Richards then with this one is on target, and has Pat Richards found his kicking boots at just the right time for the Irish. 16-12 now they lead. There are all sorts of fiendish permutations, I tell you. If the scores are level at the end of this game, it gets horrendously complicated.
Well, I think Ireland might just really want to get to the half-time rest more than anything, Sean. You know, Samoa have made 100 tackles and Ireland almost 150. And for that reason, I think they're the ones who would appreciate the 15-minute break that they're going to get when the hooter sounds in a minute. Eamon
O'Carroll then plays the ball. Ireland just need a composed, solid set of 6. Here's Harlequins' Gareth Haggerty. Damien Blanche sets off, but his progress is quickly stopped.
And he hasn't been the same player, has he, since the heavy head knock he took early in the game.
Samoa really putting the tackles in as the first half comes to an end here. They don't hold back. Richards. That's a spiralling kick, and Smith Samo almost let that one go. It's a good chase from the Irish. The fullback not able to make much progress there. It was McAlorum leading the way. Here is Francis Melly. Melly. Good work from the Saints winger. As the hooter sounds and they run it, Solomona will try and keep it alive, but the tackle is completed, and Ireland head for the dressing rooms, holding a 16-12 lead. Well, it's not enough. They need to win by 6 points or more, but they're heading in the right direction. And what a first half we've had. Ireland, though, still very much alive in this competition.
Let's rejoin our commentators at the Parramatta Stadium, Sean McRae, Phil Clark and Bill Arthur.
Okay.
And Thierry Alibert blows for the start of this second half. Ireland, well, not quite there, but they've got a great chance here to make another name for themselves in the Rugby League World Cup, just as they did in 2000. They were in the same group as Samoa, and they beat them 30 points to 16 in Belfast, and Steve Prescott got a try and 5 goals that night. They got through to the quarterfinals of the competition there. This time, it's a place in the last 6 that awaits them, because it's, of course, the semi-final qualifier that they could be heading to, and the Irish bench looking on as their side has possession at the start of the second half, in possession with Ben Harrison. And of course Ireland needing to win by 6 points or more as Richards launches that one downfield and hangs in the air, seemed to be up there for ages before it lands in the hands of Smith Samoa. And the Samoan fullback will return the ball. Pat Richards has an almighty boot on him. Let's hope it's not going to come down to the goals that he's missed, because he has missed 4 so far in this competition. Here's Wigan's George Carmont, and that's with Frank Pulatua, and Pulatua has lost possession. It's been snaffled by Ben Harrison.
There's always an element of risk when you pass the ball so close to the line. It's come off Pulatua, and Ireland now are the ones immediately looking to attack and offload. Ball kept alive here now. Samoans offloaded the ball far more than the Irish side in the first half, but Griggs was the recipient of the first Irish one today.
There's Eamon O'Carroll, chunky little figure O'Carroll. But he runs hard, and he did there. Now here's Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, little burst of action from him, finds Littler. But Littler is quickly stopped. Didn't make much progress there, the Irish. Littler plays the ball. McIlorum, change of direction, finds Gareth Haggerty. And Haggerty keeps the ball alive. Finnegan. 4 tackles gone, this set of 6 for the Irish. McIlorum finds Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick finds Griggs. Griggs almost through there. It was a good tackle from Carmont in the end. Here is Platt. Platt still going. Pirouettes, gets the ball away to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick out wide to Richards. Richards looking for a second try. He'll get it! Pat Richards gets another try for the Irish. What a start to the second half. And Pat Richards finishing off a move that went from one side of the field to the other to get his second try.
Well, the Irish started the first half poorly. They haven't made that mistake in the second. You know what? They've kept the ball alive. After working so hard defensively, they've come up with possession. A couple of offloads in this set of 6 tackles, and then a wonderful pass there from Fitzpatrick straight into the hands of Pat Richards, who intelligently but very determinedly comes back in field. He knows that the sideline is a danger to him, and he has to stay on the field of play. Comes back in, bounces through the first couple of tackles, and ensures that the ball is grounded over the try line to give the Irish a dream start for this second half. And at this stage, put them through from what many people predicted as the group of death.
Was Terry O'Connor looking to the heavens there? Well, at the moment they're back on course for that semi-final qualifier. And Pat Richards, there's the worried Samoan faces. You can't quite believe this. Now then, can Pat Richards land this from way out wide?
Thing is, Bill, when you turn a football over on the second play of a game, when you restart, you are putting yourself under pressure as Pat Richards hits this ball. It's going to go to the right, well right of the post. But, you know, Samoa have put themselves on enormous pressure, and again, they've shown an inability really to defend their line. They're all over the place. People come forward, some slide off, some sit back. They get a little tight, and they're just there's not a lot of cohesion with their defensive pattern, and that's put them under enormous pressure.
Well, they were asking in the studio about the significance of that Simon Finnegan try celebration. There's a man down on the touchline who might just be able to explain that. Stevie Gibbons, another of the London Scholars players. He's talking to Angela.
Yes, Stevie, those tattoos, and that's part of the celebrations, isn't it? Just explain what they've been doing.
Well, basically all the lads, after we got our tattoos, we said we'd point at the tattoos where we got it if we score a try to celebrate. The phrase itself is a Gaelic phrase. It's Ní neart go cur le chéile. It means there's no strength without unity.
You've all got it in different places, though.
We do. We all have
Where's
it.
yours?
I'd rather not say on air, to be honest, at the moment. But yeah, we all have it in various different places.
Dream start, that, wasn't it?
Fantastic start, yes. Just what we needed coming into the second half. So hopefully we can build on that and go on and win the game by more than 6 points.
The thing is with Samoa, you've got to be in possession and put it to them, haven't you? And that's exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, we got to hold on to the ball as much as we can, try and turn the big men, turn their defence, hopefully tire them out as much as possible, and you know, hopefully the gaps will start to open up then.
You'll be able to relax, won't you, when that gap gets a bit bigger in the scoreline?
Oh, let's hope so, Angela, let's hope so.
Here comes Samoa though with Melly coming infield. There's a problem for one of the Samoan players. Just walking back to it's Langi Setu, I think. He's still out there, but in fact Apollo Perolini coming on the field as play continues to take him off. So that is a problem lost one of their second rowers, Langisetu, but they're in possession. Oof, very nearly weren't. Frank Pulatua almost went without that. So Ireland, that magic number 6. For the moment, they've got that cushion. Well, they've got 8 points, but it's Samoa. Little chip chase. It could be too strong. It was just. I bet Pat Richards' heart was in his mouth then.
Disappointingly from Samoa, there's been very little cohesion when it's come to attacking. It's been sort of individual efforts. Okay, they get to the last play. Here's McLaurin taking on the defence, and this is where Langisetu, probably one of Samoa's better players, buckles the leg and hurts the left shoulder, I think, as he goes into that tackle. He'll be a major loss for Samoa, but it's sort of, you don't see much interplay between the half-backs and the outside backs. They move the ball well against Tonga, but you see there the ball's grounded past the dead ball line. And Ireland have subsequently been awarded a penalty now. So without having to work, they're over 50 metres from their own try line.
It's a really good point you make, Phil. And I think part of the problem is Nigel Vangana, the very, very experienced player in the Samoan team. Not what you'd call a classic ball player. He's played a lot of his career at centre, wing, but not a lot of standoff, not a lot of 5'8", as they call it here in Australia. And I think he's more a running player. He's not a ball player. And the outside backs have just not seen any football at all.
It's Ireland in possession. Haggerty. Oh, Haggerty takes a big hit and keeps possession.
I think he's been very impressive for Ireland, carrying the hopes of the Harlequins club back from Super League and doing them very proudly. What a year he's had in terms of improvement.
Well, they'll be watching back in West London. Harlequins, in fact, back in pre-season training this week. Already hard at work. Haggerty hard at work on Ireland's behalf here, but that was a poor pass from Fitzpatrick. It was Griggs, in fact, who gave it. And it's giving Samoa possession back. We were talking about what the permutations were if the scores were level at the end of this. Well, it's we can't be resolved by points difference. It's then points percentage. That's for and against times 100. If that doesn't do it, it's the number of tries scored. If that doesn't resolve it, it's then goals kicked, then it's drop goals, and finally, toss of a coin. Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that for Ireland. At the moment, it won't, because they are ahead here by 20 points to 12. But it's Tonga in possession with Nigel Vangana.
Samoa's game plan appears to be to blow Ireland away down the middle of the field. They're repeatedly going out. They're one-man efforts amongst those middle defenders as Ben Roberts chips over the top. It sits up in goal. Platt carries it. And in fact, his feet touch the dead ball line. So this will be a goal line dropout. Samoa's real challenge is to Ireland's middle defenders. They're not bothered about how they stand out wide. They tested them a little bit in the first half, but they're firing quick men from the dummy half position, and they're testing the fitness and endurance capacity of Ireland's guys in the centre of the field.
Just saw another example of not putting pressure on a kicker. Ben Roberts was able to change his decision. He was going to put another one of those spiral bombs in the air, had a look around, nobody put him under pressure, saw a little option down the short side, and now this is probably a better result.
A little bit of time eaten up there by Pat Richards, very, very cunningly done. First goal line dropout of the game, and Samoa have the ball back. Here's Smith Samau, once in the Melbourne Storm club, and he plays the ball. It's Frank Pulatua. 2 tackles gone, right up the middle of the field. Here's Ali Lauatiti now. And the Irish players know all about him, the Leeds Rhinos man, and they're not going to allow him to offload that ball. He loves to do that. Drop of the shoulders from Missy Talapapa. And then it's with Roberts. Roberts is taken down on the Irish 10 metres line. Tries to get up to play the ball. Haggerty standing all over him. Referee says play on. Harrison Hansen drives towards the posts. That's the 5th tackle. Roberts stabs the kick in. Oh, he's going to get the ball back and almost manages to stumble his way to the try line, but the referee deciding that the Irish didn't play at that ball, it'll be the turnover.
And you really have to compliment Ireland there again for the goal line defence. Samoa looked to go wide to the left-hand side, but they moved up quickly and contained them. And then they got enough pressure on the kicker there to manage to survive. But this is where you find out how tough you are in rugby league, putting your hand up to carry the ball from this part of the field.
Littler put his hand up, Blanche puts his hand up, and both of them feel the force of this Samoan defence. the Samoan supporters at that end of the ground really getting behind their side. Great crowd here at Parramatta Stadium. Bigger, I think, than it was for the Tonga game. And again, this game giving the lie to the doomsayers who've knocked this competition virtually from the word go. It's amazing, isn't it? You invite these sides to come to the party and then you spend the next few weeks bagging them. Well, these two have shown what the World Cup is all about. It's a good kick downfield. Matt Utai eventually gets to it for Samoa, but Richards was leading the chase and gets hold of Smith-Samoa.
And the ball's come free, Bill. I think this should be play on. It is. Oh, no, Ireland have lost it.
They get the penalty.
What a turnaround there. Huge play. Big kick from Pat Richards. The ball knocked down then eventually. In fact, lost in the tackle before being knocked out illegally. Smith-Samoa runs it. I think it's perhaps a loose carry. And Scott Griggs, the number 6, pounces on it. But then Ali Lauitiiti punches it out of his hands.
Subtle that was. Well, Smith-Samoa feeling that it was Griggs who committed the first offence. But that's definitely Ali Lauitiiti.
Oh, wasn't that a one-on-one tackle?
I think he had to play the football. I'm not sure that he was allowed to do it. I think he's going to play the ball and he's knocked it out then. And so I think it's the right decision. It's again, Ireland taking the points. They're fully aware of the situation. They want to go to a 10-point lead here. Put a lot of pressure now on the Samoan team, who look like they're under pressure. They're really battling to me. They're really struggling with cohesion, both offensively and defensively. Nothing's really happening for them. They're trying to work their way out of it. They're trying to just power over the line of Ireland. But Ireland have stood up really well tonight. They've certainly been terrific in defence.
Richards, 2 more crucial points for the Irish. 22-12 now the scoreline. 6 points, remember, the winning margin that the Irish need. Well, they're on course at the moment for the qualifying semi-final next week.
And they're managing to frustrate Samoa with some brilliant and determined defence. And you've seen now that it's almost become 13 individual efforts from the blue jerseys. They all want to carry the ball and show how strong and passionate they are to play for the country. But it needs a greater degree of intelligence here if Samoa are to break down Ireland.
The restart is deep and Haggerty is underneath it. Took that one well because he was right on the goal line. It's a good chase by Samoa. The ball's come loose and it's a knock on, and that's what Samoa were hunting for. Immediately from the restart they get the ball back. They were there in numbers, and Ali Lauitiiti, the smiles on his face. Gareth Haggerty not impressed.
Well, we'll get to see just how committed Ireland are here now. Having scored those 2 points, they're back again on the try line. So much of the first half was played in Ireland's half of the field, and we're getting a repeat again in this second 40 minutes.
So here comes Samoa. Talau, haven't seen much of him, but we are now, and he's almost over the line. He is over the line, I think. Just short.
Sain held up over the line. He's sending him back 10 metres. What an amazing defensive effort this must have been there from Michael Platt. As Talau slid over the line, he's preventing him from grounding the ball.
But they're still on the attack, Samoa. Here's Ben Roberts. Roberts back to Frank Puletua. Trying to wrestle his way out of the grasp. He's looking to Tony Puletua, trying to make amends for that disallowed try in the first half that would have got Samoa off to the perfect start. That ball popped up kindly for Talau. Ireland desperately defending their own try line now. Ali Lauitiiti taking them on. They managed to hold him. He's lost the ball, but the penalty is awarded. It was stolen, says Thierry Alibert. And another opportunity for Samoa here. Siu takes the tap, and Lauitiiti comes thundering in once more. Ben Harrison with the tackle. Puletua still going right under the nose of the referee. He couldn't stretch out that time. Siu will try his arm, and he's held up, is he? He is held up, and again amazing defence from the Irish at the bottom of the pile. Platt again.
And Ireland are relishing this challenge here. They're showing how good they are now aside. Written off by everybody from this group. That's 6 tackles on their own line they've already withstood. 3 with a penalty, then 3 more. And Solomona now takes the ball forward, but they're going backwards at the moment. Samoa keep the ball alive.
Harrison Hansen now, that amazing pass from Solomona, managing to squeeze it out. He's lost that ball. It was knocked on. Vangana it was, who couldn't keep a hold of it. He's taken a knock as well. And the Irish congratulate each other on a job well done. And it looks as though Vangana has got a problem with the knee there.
Well, Ireland look like they've got 23 men defending the line at the moment, not just 13. The knee twists back awkwardly. They've grown in confidence as this game has gone on because they've been able to prevent Samoa from scoring when they've got close to the line. This looks like a serious injury to Nigel Vangana. And I guess there'd have to be tactical changes if the standoff and main playmaker leaves the field. Ben Roberts has been important to Samoa, but Nigel Vangana's experience will be hugely important in the final quarter of this game.
Yeah, the former Warrington man is in a lot of trouble, 33 years of age.
You can see the way he fell here, or the way he was tackled awkwardly. You can see the knee go just now. That's opened the joint up, which generally indicates a medial ligament strain of some kind. So I think he'll do very well to continue on in this game. They're just checking it now. They're sort of palpating that area where the medial ligament is, the physio, the trainer. It's going to be touch and go, I think, whether Nigel Vangana is able to take any further part in this game.
Simon Robbins, the Samoan physio, just having a look. But Vangana's back up on his feet.
Well,
he's a tough hombre.
Again, it's quite a long stop in play here for an injury. It gives Ireland a chance to get the breath back and recover after working so hard on the line. Applause now from all the players as much as though Vangana is going to be led from the field. The Irish coach is able to make a change. Haggerty comes off for a rest. Carroll and Tandy back on the field now for Ireland. And they have to be thinking now about the next 6 tackles. Carrying the ball strongly, good control of the ball, and quicker play the balls.
Well, Vangana are not too keen to leave the field. Wayne McDade will come back on. I think, obviously, Martin and Paul watching this one interestedly back in the studio. Fantastic defence from the Irish so far.
What you've got from the Samoans, they're going one out, which means the Irish can really muscle up on that one play. There's not a lot of disguise in it. It's about challenging our big boys against your big boys. The difference is you've got 4 or 5 Irish defenders and only 1 Samoan attacker. So the Irish are digging in, rolling the sleeves up and getting on with it.
Yeah, the Samoans aren't showing much invention in attack. They just seem to be bashing it up. Ben Roberts is showing little signs of brilliance, but I think he's a 6 as well. So they're really lacking a 7 to bring their attack together.
Well, that will suit the Irish as long as they continue to have problems creating. The Irish will be smiling. Oh, big hit. Tandy felt that. But he's held on to the ball crucially because they were looking again to just try and get it out of his grasp. Wayne McDade, well, he's certainly made an impact in tonight for Kylie Luluai. And the kick, not the best. Smith-Samoa, and the pass out wide, well taken by George Carmont. Carmont brings it back in field. Ireland trying to take him to the touchline. Held, cries the referee. That's got to be a penalty. It is.
Well, this now becomes very hard for Ireland because all of the game, whether they have the ball or they don't, tends to be in their own half of the field. That is far more tiring than when you play in your opponent's half. And again, Ireland having to do so much defence.
It's another one of these grey areas filling the game, isn't it? When you see there what part of that is held, when is he held, when is he held, when is he held? There's momentum all the time. It's a very difficult thing. The referee clearly called held, but players don't always hear that. That's a tough penalty.
Solomona with the first drive, then Pulatua with the next. The big guns firing for Samoa. Pulatua looking for a penalty there. Here's Harrison Hansen. Hansen looking for an offload maybe there, but is tackled. They go down the short side with Terence Siu. Again, they were looking for the offload with Paulo, but he couldn't get the ball away. Again, the Irish defence, magnificent. And now a little bit of footwork from Smith-Samoa. That's the 5th tackle. Can they withstand this onslaught as well? They've been pinned back virtually since Pat Richards scored that try. Now there's another kick, another challenge. The ball has come down into the hands of the Irish and it's been picked up by Blanche. and he'll go all the way. He will go all the way, and this surely will be a hammer blow for the Samoan side, but the Samoan players demanding that Thierry Alibert goes all the way back. Ali Lauatiti has in fact stayed at the other end of the field, and Thierry Alibert will go to the video ref.
Well, the touch judge on the far side of the field, closest to that kick, has stayed on the 40-metre line. He hasn't advanced downfield. I think he thinks the first knock-on and error probably came from Ireland, possibly even Damien Blanche involved in that. But you play to the whistle in this sport. That's exactly how Damien Blanche has approached it. The kick's gone from Roberts to the far side of the field. Melly attempts to get up over Carmont. Gleeson's got his eyes on Melly, and Blanche, I think, knocks on initially here. I think it comes from Blanche, but I'll tell you what, he reacts quickly here. Gleeson plays the whistle. The ball's knocked on there. Knocked backwards, I probably would say, from Melly, rather than knocked on from Gleeson. Ireland have had some luck in this game. Would this go their way again as well?
No. Surely not.
Well, we thought not for the Samoan try, which was, cancelled for obstruction.
And then you've got to say,
I thought it was a certain Samoan try.
Well, if Blanche doesn't knock it on, does Gleeson? It's a decision for Steve Ganson.
Gleeson. He's trying to make a tackle. I agree. I think Blanche has knocked the football on. I think there's enough evidence there to suggest it's come off his arm. I'd be extremely surprised if the video ref gives this as a try.
Well, the Irish players, in actual fact, have all trooped back, ready to form a scrum, as you can see. We're just waiting for Steve Ganson to make the decision. You never know. Thierry Alibert, meanwhile, is right up at the other end of the field. Lonely figure underneath those posts. There he is, all the players down the other end of the park. And behind him, the video ref decision will come up on the screen. And no try, as expected. Damien Blanche, well, he got a hat-trick against the Tongans. And he could have been an Irish hero again tonight. He still might be. 22-12 the scoreline. Ireland still, though, heading for this qualifying semi-final.
This is one of the longest games of Rugby League I think I've ever seen because of the stoppages. It really tests the level of concentration from Ireland here, particularly on their own line. They've had a rest. Can they focus and contain Samoa's goal forward with Talau?
Willie Talau. Oh, the pass from Talau straight into touch, and Missy Talapapa never had a chance there. And again, the Irish defence congratulates each other, and the Samoan supporters just wonder when their side is going to put it together. So does Willie Talau.
This is a great game of Rugby League, evenly balanced here. Samoa desperate to get that score, which would take some pressure off them. And I think this is the anxiety that creates this pass. Talau looking there to draw in Richards with the eyes, but throws the ball into touch. Samoa's reaction was good though. The ball went out of play. They immediately formed the scrum. The defensive line was set. I would guess they're going to put some real intensity and pressure on Ireland here now in these 6 tackles.
Meanwhile, on the sidelines, Vangana gets treated. Well, there is the intensity. And Richards on the receiving end. Now Platt. Oh, and Platt doesn't make much progress, but gets to his feet well to quickly to play that ball. Littler. Hansen with the tackle. That looked like a forward pass from McIlorum. He was lucky to get away with that one to Tandy, I think it was. And here he goes again, McIlorum. 4 tackles gone. That's the 5th. Needs to be a good kick from Fitzpatrick. It's not a bad one considering the pressure he was under. And it's just got a bit away from Smith somehow. That'll do him.
And this is the closest they've been to the Samoan try line, I think, in the second half.
Well, not since they scored the try.
Since then, I mean, it's been all in Ireland's half of the field. Oh, there's the error.
Melly it was, I think, who's gone without it. And look at the celebrations from the Irish. And Griggs gets to his feet and says, come on, lads.
Well, a mirror of the first half. Ireland have survived on their own line. Countless efforts by the Samoans to score. And then when they've got to the other end of the field here, Ireland have shown a clinical approach in this game. They've converted chances into points far better than the Samoans. Can they do it once more?
And just listen to the Irish support here. Well, There were plenty of Irish supporters down in Melbourne when we were down there, and they were there for the international rules game between Australia and Ireland. I don't think they made this much noise. Went along to the MCG for the second game. Bizarre affair that was. The Irish won that one. Can they win this one? Can they win it by enough points to make it through? At the moment they're on course. And another try. Well, that really might knock the stuffing out of this Samoan side. Tandy plays the ball. McIlorum looks left, then goes right to the captain Grix. Platt. He's tackled, but 8 metres out. Tallow it was with the tackle. Here's Grix taking him on himself. The Wakefield Trinity Wildcat. That's the 5th tackle. Richards, his hand raised on the far side of the field, out of shot at the moment, but surely they'll hoist one towards him. No, it goes the other way. The chase is on, and Melly, there's nowhere for him to go. And that's a great result for the Irish.
A perfect play from the Irish to put some pressure here on Samoa. Stay at this end of the field for as long as possible. I mean, they'd stay here for 90 minutes if possible.
I bet his forwards haven't thanked him too much for it. You know, they did such a good job. They've actually tightened up a fair bit defensively of Samoa, and they did such a good job to restrict the kick from Carl Fitzpatrick on the 40-metre line. And then on tackle number 1, you turn the football over. The guys are getting back to try to get set. They think they've got a full set of 6, and all of a sudden you're under this sort of pressure. They're going to do well to hang on here, Samoa.
Pat Richards played the ball there. He's got 14 points tonight. Super League's top point scorer and a leading contributor for the Irish here. Here's Tandy again. Big drive from the West Tigers player. He plays the ball. Here's Grix once more. Gleeson. Oh, Solomona came looking for him. And the penalty goes against Samoa. And Thierry Alibert indicating that an elbow was raised there. And the Irish players not happy with that challenge from David Solomona. And the frustration beginning to show from this Samoan side.
I just hope that Sean Gleeson's head's still on the top of his body at the moment here. As he hits the ground there. A little concern. Everybody argues over other things here, don't they? Boom, spins off the jaw, loses the ball. I hope he's okay.
Well, he's back on his feet, but the Irish players had a good view of that, and they didn't like the way Solomona went in there. Now then, he has been called out.
He's on report.
And it is on report, says Thierry Alibert. David Solomona apologising to Sean Gleeson. But I think they are getting frustrated, the Samoan side.
I've got to say, that's not reportable, that's off. That's a send-off. You've raised your elbow and you've actually made contact with a player's head. Then that's a send-off offence. I'm sorry, but it's you don't take that. You don't take. I think he's copped out there, the referee. That is not to be placed on report. To me, that's a send-off.
Well, Kylie Lulawai was suspended for this game for his actions against Tonga.
There's the contact, Bill. There's the contact. We see it. It's a raised forearm. Here comes the contact. Bang.
You can see it, left forearm.
David Solomona is extremely fortunate to remain on the field.
And Pat Richards can extract some sort of punishment with another 2 points for the Irish here. Every little helps for them. There's another 2. 24-12 the scoreline now. If they can hold on to this, improve on this, then they're going to that semi-final qualifier. And Pat Richards, as we said, has he found his kicking boots just at the right time for the Irish?
The Ireland are to go through into the next stage. This is a great game to prepare them for that. They're in the last 15 minutes, they have a lead, but they're playing against a determined and talented outfit, which is what they'll meet as they progress through this World Cup tournament. And this really will test them here now.
Is it on your bike, Samoa? But there's still plenty of time for this unpredictable Samoan side to do enough damage to destroy Ireland's hopes. They don't have to win this game. They just have to make sure they don't lose by 6 points. As Ireland play the ball, it was Tandy again. And then off goes Bob Bezic, back on the field. Be playing for Halifax next season in National League One.
And that's probably the best clearing kick we've seen from Ireland for quite some time. Again, they've only got to about the 30-metre line, and a good run by Samoa gets them over that. But there's a bit more organisation, not as much pressure and less panic in the Irish play.
Missy Talapapa takes the ball up. It was a big tackle from Ryan Tandy on him. Here's Francis Melly. 3 tackles gone. Roberts now. Roberts away from 1, away from 2, and he's still going, the little number 7. And that might galvanise Samoa now. A run like that, it's certainly lifted their supporters. Here is Solomona, shape to kick, then shifts the ball on. It finds Talau. Talau, well tackled. Good work from Fitzpatrick to make that tackle. It's on the last now. Ali Laatiti with the kick. That's going nowhere but the dead ball line.
What a brilliant effort from Ryan Tandy. He worked so hard first to get back onside, then when the ball was played, to get up and put pressure on the kicker. Here's a run from Ben Roberts. Skips in between a couple of defenders. I think Tandy was one of them who maybe missed it. In fact, it was Haggerty, in fact. And he carried the hopes of the Samoan side forward, but it's again one-man efforts, and Ireland just about able to hang on with that.
Well, he's been a player, hasn't he, that has threatened the line. He's at least gone to the line, he's put a bit of footwork on, he's showed the ball, he's dummied, he's done all sorts of things. I just don't think there's been enough of that from the Samoan team, and they've probably failed to support Ben Roberts. I think he's probably been their best player.
Gareth Haggerty needing a little bit of treatment, another few seconds eaten up on the clock. Ben Roberts, a cousin of Everton's Tim Cahill, who's a very keen rugby league supporter, and is in fact, I think, at Featherstone to watch this Samoan side qualify for the latter stages of the World Cup. I'm sure he's been to watch games at St Helens as well, Tim Cahill. And his cousin has a crucial role to play for Samoa here tonight. But it's Ireland on the attack. Littler gets to his feet to play the ball. I think the Irish could have had claims for a penalty there. Littler seemed to have been shoved. There's the hard-working Tandy. That's the 5th tackle. Needs to be a good kick. It's Richards who hoists it. Well, that one goes straight up in the air, really. In fact, it's come straight back to the Irish.
And they get a penalty.
They get a penalty. And he's called out Tony Pulatua.
I think, was it for the late challenge on Pat Richards as the kick went through?
It's Tony Pulatua who's being called out. Richards hoisted that ball and was then...
You make a tackle after the kick. Okay. It's late charge. No more. Okay.
We often see that a player sent to the sin bin, late challenge on the kicker in Super League. The yellow card is usually shown and the guy gets a 10-minute rest. It's a dangerous effort to hit the non-kicking leg too, isn't it? Look, maybe I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He's been running around for over an hour out there. It's a poor effort to put pressure on the kick.
Well, the Samoan faces showing the frustration and the disappointment they must be feeling to be in this situation, not finding a way through this Irish defence. And Pat Richards now, this a long-range attempt, but it's almost straight onto the posts. He'll certainly get the distance. Will he get the direction? And this to just put Ireland closer to the last 6 in this competition. Richards then, 35 metres out. Still going up when it went over the posts. 2 more points for the Irish. 26-12 the scoreline.
Well, Samoa already had to score 2 tries at least. All that does is put a little bit of extra pressure on the Samoan goal kicker, who now needs to convert those tries as if they are scored. Just less than 12 minutes, 2 tries needed from Samoa.
Watch the short kick-off, Richards was advising. There it goes. And Richards is among them to challenge for it, and he gets up for it as well. Well, he might have made his name here in Parramatta as an Eels youngster, but he's making his name in the hearts of Irish Rugby League supporters tonight. Pat Richards, with this second half performance, well, first half performance as well, but he has dominated proceedings. A try and 3 goals from Pat Richards in this second half. All the Irish points coming from their number 5. But that ball has been tapped back. It's Terence Siu who'll chase it. The Irish are chasing it, and it's Richards who missed it. I almost put the muckers on him. Oh.
Well, the referee's given a knock-on against Samoa. Well, they've had some luck tonight.
Terence Siu was chasing that for all he's worth, but they've come back to the 30-metre line.
There's the alleged knock-on by Willa Talau. The referee says he played at that. Whatever happened afterwards was irrelevant excitement, I suppose, for the supporters here.
And me. And the Irish supporters. There are certainly more here tonight than there were for the Tonga game. Word has got around about this Irish side. They've put themselves about as well, as you've probably seen on Sky Sports. And they've been really justifying the supporters' faith here tonight. So far, 26-12 the scoreline. And will it be Ireland who will take on, well, everybody thinks Fiji in that qualifying semi-final. The Scots might have something to say about that, you never know. Here's Gareth Haggerty.
And this is what they've been very good at, Bill. They've been good at rolling down the field, getting to the kick, chasing well, asking Samoa a lot of questions. They've been particularly good in this part of the field. Now they'll just finish off here now, and they'll just put a little kick in, try to find some space, maybe throw it up in the air, put a bit of pressure on, get through.
Oh, and an error. The ball is going to come up for the Irish, and it's Liam Finn. Liam Finn just back on the field, I think, has got the touchdown. Samoa again unable to deal with the kick. The Irish can't believe, look at the expressions on the faces. Bob Bezic calm in the middle of it all. But has Finn got another try for the Irish?
It's a brilliant kick, isn't it? Because it doesn't go where you would predict it to go. At first I thought he'd get it to land, but Missy Talapapa makes a real mess of it. It bounces backwards, and Liam Finn, let's just check that he's onside. He had to be behind the kicker. If he was, I think this is the 5th Irish try. Just look there as his foot goes to ball. I think he's just... Oh, I don't know.
They're all onside.
I'm not sure. I think he could be offside.
They're all onside. Steve Ganson is the video ref. This probably is one of the easiest decisions he's had to make all night. Terrible hash again by Samoa. Liam Finn with the touchdown. Dewsbury's Liam Finn. Has he got the try that has sent Ireland through to the next round of this World Cup tournament? Steve Ganson, the video ref, has had a quick look at that. He was the hero of the qualifying game against Lebanon with a try and 2 vital goals. A vital try now tonight, surely, for Ireland's Liam Finn. Let's see. There it is. 4 more points. And the Irish supporters now can dream of a trip up the coast.
And the 3rd try tonight that Ireland have scored directly from a kick. They've executed those players ever so well. They've chased and they've put pressure on their opponents, and they've been rewarded. Liam Finn can't believe that. That just makes the remaining few minutes of this game far more enjoyable. There's an element of relaxation now. They can play fluently and with a real confidence, knowing that I think they are the dark horses who will progress through from this group. And supporters on the field, there's a real frustration amongst the Samoan supporters and their players. Very sad to see.
That was something for security team to deal with.
Well, they wanted to get to the referee, and luckily he's been nice to be restrained beforehand.
I think it's one of the Irish support staff who intervened. So Samoan-French relations not at their best at the moment. But Samoa have themselves to blame, really. They'll point to 1 or 2 decisions, but the error count, as we said before the game, Sean, 21 errors, he made the point. 21 errors against Tonga, the highest so far in the competitions. Is Richards misses with that one, but 21 errors, and the error count creeping up again for them tonight.
Yeah, they've had an inability to really build pressure, and when they have built pressure, I think Ireland have defended their line extremely well. That's one category in a team that has to be very strong all the time. If you can defend your line, you can absorb pressure for lengthy periods. And Ireland have been very, very good at that tonight, and they've been much better with the football, particularly in the second half. They've controlled the ball pretty well. They've had to withstand a bit of an onslaught, and that's what gets you through. That gets you through there, because Samoa have tightened up their defence. They've come up and they've hit really hard, but they just, when they've had the football, I think they've just lacked numbers. They've gone one out all the time. It's been very individualistic, and they've just turned over too much possession to really mount a lot of pressure.
Into the last 10 minutes here, and Ryan Tandy, he's been outstanding in this second half for the Irish. They've all been outstanding. There he is, familiar to Widnes and Whitehaven supporters. Ooh, that looked forward, it was. Bezic here.
Forward pass.
Samoa head and feet at the scrum, very quickly looking to pack the scrum down. Well, if they're going to pull this one out of the fire, they're going to have to do something spectacular and come up with the sort of football that we haven't seen from them so far tonight.
15.
Well, we've seen St Helens in Super League score 3 tries in less than 10 minutes. I'm not so sure Samoa are careful of it. Ryan Tandy got a little bit of unnecessary attention there from Solomona and Laurititi. The referee had already blown the whistle.
What you might see is some entertainment, because they're going to have to play. They're going to have to play a bit more than catch up now. They've got to keep the ball alive. They've got to offload. So they may be entertaining for the last 7.5 minutes, but they certainly haven't got 3 tries in them. The way they've played.
30 points to 12, and Ireland only needed 6 to go through. Well, they're sitting pretty at the moment. But here comes Samoa. Pulatua. It might have been a different story if that early try had been allowed, and that will be one of the decisions that Samoa will contest, but obstruction was the ruling. And Ireland survived that early onslaught, and they've never really looked back since then. But here come Samoa. Ali Laurititi clutches that ball out of the air, gives it back to Joseph Paulo. Paulo, though, is tackled. That's the 5th tackle. Siu goes down the short side, stabs the kick in. Richards turns and watches that one go dead.
There's no way that Pat Richards has played at it. He's possibly been pushed into the ball. It's a very nice kick into the in-goal area by Siu. He's looking maybe to force the goal line drop it, but the ball's bouncing over the dead ball line. And
Richards is over that dead ball line before it hits his knee.
And I think Talou pushed him. In fact, the referee disagrees with me. He's going to award a goal line drop.
Well, I don't think he was over. I think that he was about to put his foot down out of the field of play, but the knee is hit the ball. I actually think that's the correct decision.
Yeah, I thought he was pushed from behind by Willa Talou into the ball, which that angle didn't sort of show.
Well, it's a goal line dropout. It's Richards who'll take it, and he'll take his time about taking it. Surely now Ireland can't let this one slip. We saw Pat Richards launch one of these monsters down the field against Tonga, and then the Irish chase was up to it. Is it up to it on this occasion as Pulatua comes roaring back? They are. Sean Gleeson in there, Lee Doran as well, but another charging run. This time it's Frank Pulatua. He plays the ball. Here's Harrison Hansen trying to skirt round the first defender, but it was the outstanding Ryan Tandy who made the tackle. Here is Solomona now. We know what Solomona can do with the hands, and again the Irish defence just manages to stop George Carmont short. He plays the ball just inches from that line. They're over with Solomona. They've got one back, but it's way out wide, and it's going to be a tough conversion attempt for Ben Roberts, so the gap is narrowed.
Well, many people think David Solomona might be a little lucky to be on the field after what happened earlier on. But Carmont goes close to the line, and then Solomona senses the fatigue there, doesn't it? Irish players lying on the floor, dives over the top of them and grounds the ball. Just less than 5 minutes to go now. Crashes through for that one. They need 2 more very quickly, and they could do with this kick going over to help as well.
Well, Ireland, the Irish supporters right behind Roberts, will be desperately hoping that this one is wide of the target. Toughest kick for him. Wrong side of the field. Roberts has pushed it wide of the mark. Ireland 30, Samoa 16. It's enough at the moment for Ireland to go through. They can't afford to allow Samoa again to get across that try line.
We'd have some excitement. You often see back-to-back tries in Rugby League. The team have had the ball, they're fresh, they're pumped up. Samoa have to score, and Ireland doing everything they possibly can here to slow the game down, take any momentum now out of Samoa's attack.
Well, the first thing to do here, Phil, is defuse Pat Richards' kickoff. They've been pretty good so far tonight, but that'll add 30 seconds to the clock. It takes that long to come down. Yeah. He'll get plenty of height with this, let me tell you.
Let's hope it stays in the field of play. Oh, and that's a wicked spiralling one as well. Oh, that's a great kick from Richards. What a kick from Richards! What a result from Pat Richards, and the Irish fists are pumping. Bezic slaps hands. Well, you expected one up in the air. Maybe Samoa did as well, because that one was a wicked kick.
He'd tell you he hit that really well. I think it might have been a little bit of a mishit, but got the result. And Ireland can not quite run the clock down yet, but they can certainly take a lot of time up here.
It's been Pat Richards' second half, and that kick, as much as anything, has helped take Ireland through in this competition, surely now. And Richards, in fact, named man of the match here tonight at the Parramatta Stadium for his performance. He set a new Ireland record for points in a World Cup match tonight with 18, and in the process breaking Steve Prescott's record of 14. And what a way to do it, what a game to do it in. And Ireland still looking for the cherry on the cake here tonight. Coming back across the field. Gleeson, though, has kicked that ball into the hands of Solomona, and now it's going to and Melly couldn't take the pass. The pass was from Carmont, and Melly couldn't take it. And that surely is it. 3 minutes to go, and Ireland are going through.
Brilliant play though from Solomona and Carmont. Look at the ball around the corner, and then repeated. Melly had to catch that. He still had 3 Irish players to beat. Boy, there was some good skill there. But for Samoa, and I suppose the excitement that we would have had in this box if Francis Melly had taken that one.
Well, you wouldn't have had a lot of money on him to catch it, would you? He's had a poor night. He's dropped some football tonight, but that was pretty tough, that. But they've got to take the odds. Here they go with that six-man shove again, trying to get the football from the scrum. But on this occasion, Ireland again will be able to take another 45 seconds or so off the clock, and they're going to win this game very comfortably now.
Well, 30 points to 16, and deja vu, because that was the score by which Ireland beat Samoa in the 2000 competition when they went to the quarterfinals, losing eventually to England in a cracker of a match at Headingley. 30 points to 16 the scoreline here. Remember, they only needed to win by 6 to go through. Well, they've done a heck of a job here tonight. They've done Andy Kelly and his support staff proud. This unfancied Irish side, and Damien Blanche looking for more points. Nobody will want to play this Irish side and play with such passion. Here is Liam Finn, and Finn dinks a little kick in. Littler is chasing it. Richards, has he got there? Surely not another video ref decision. Not a hat-trick for Pat Richards as well. And Thierry Alibert, well, I think the Samoan supporters, and surely the Samoan players and officials won't share this view, but Thierry Alibert has not done a bad job tonight. He's gone, though, to the video ref again. They're certainly onside there.
And Stuart Littler's the first player to have a stab at the ball. Do any of his hands touch it? Impossible to tell, really, from that angle. He looks through here now. Pat Richards, does he ground the ball? Yes, he does. Now, that was one quick look at whether Stuart Littler got to it. I wonder whether we'll see another angle. The video referee's seen enough for tonight.
It's the 7th video ref decision. And look at the celebrations for the Irish. Littler, well, I don't think he got anywhere near the ball. He got hold of, is it Smith-Samo? Instead. But we're having another look at it. Littler.
Maybe having a look at whether Stuart Littler takes him somehow off the ball. I don't know. I personally think it's a try. But I guess that's the only thing they're looking at. I don't know so much whether looking whether Stuart Littler touches the ball.
Pat Richards thinks it's a try. Tonga Samoa certainly don't. They're marching back for a tap on the 20. Ireland aren't sure. And Steve Ganson, it's been a busy night for the video ref. 7 decisions. Is this one going to give Pat Richards the hat-trick? It does! What a night! What a night for the Irish. What a night for Pat Richards. Super League's top point scorer for the last 2 years. Ireland's record point scorer here tonight. He's dominated this second half. And then another hat-trick for the Irish. They have now 5 hat-tricks in their last 6 games. Damien Blanche has 2 of them. Of course, he got one against Tonga. And now Pat Richards has his name to the list. And this army of Irish supporters, well, they'll be making their travel plans for the Gold Coast. The team didn't know where they were going tomorrow. You're going to the Gold Coast.
Well, that's 4 of the 6 tries now have come from kicks, and it shows how dangerous they are at exploiting that play. You know, it's harder to defend sometimes than people give credit. Dangerous, accurate kicks with people chasing. If that kick drifts wide of the post again, the goal kicking hasn't been as good as the field kicking. And you look at the scoreboard and you think about the tries that Ireland score, and as a result, give themselves a chance of progressing through this group.
And Samoa, the side that people thought might just be the dark horses in the competition, who might even be able to challenge the big guns, and they haven't lived up to expectations here tonight.
Well, that was certainly my pick to go in and be the 4th semi-finalist, there's no question about it. But, you know, Ireland have been fantastic tonight. It's not the 34 points that they've scored. It's their defence that's won them the football game.
And it's won them a place in the semi-final qualifier next week. Ali Lauatiti and Harrison Hansen there, pretty shell-shocked by how this game has turned out. As the clock runs down, Ireland just struggling to get numbers there to pack the scrum. Samoa have head and feed at the scrum. Ben Roberts hasn't really lived up to expectations tonight, and Damien Blanche takes that ball and just heads into the undergrowth. It'll be the goal line dropout, but the celebrations start for the Blarney Army as the hooter sounds and Ireland are through. What an amazing result for Andy Kelly's side. Nobody gave him a hope, but they have done it here tonight. They have won against Samoa. Pat Richards has dominated it, man of the match, as Ireland win by 34 points to 16.